All right, everybody, welcome back to the Flying Doghouse. We're going to take a look at the WB152. It's freeware, but it's not available on Flightsim.to. We'll provide a download link in the description in the video so that you can have the opportunity to experience this fine aircraft for yourself. At any rate, we're gonna start from cold and dark, and we're gonna have a quick circuit out of first flight at Kitty Hawk. We'll do a little stall test. We'll take a look at the built-in camera views, and then we'll have a thought sharing around the aircraft. So with that, let's get going. Okay, we are going to have an early morning fly. We are at first flight in Kitty Hawk, and we're going to do a quick look at the WB152. It's absolutely outstanding. So I'll include a link to the Discord for the developer where you can get a copy of the aircraft. It's not available any longer over on Flightsim.to. But what a find. My friend Brian sent this one across, and I don't know that I would have ever found it. I actually had to reach out on AbSim to the developer to get myself an enrollment link for their Discord. But it just looks great. It flies great. And I don't think I have reviewed anything yet or done a shakedown flight of anything that I didn't like, as to say, if I don't like something, I'm not going to waste my time doing a video on it unless people are just all over it and I think it's just patently bad. I'm sure the day will come where, you know, I'll have to at least share my point of view. But there's too much negative in the world, so I'm going to concentrate on stuff I like and share it with you folks, and hopefully you'll like it too. And this is freeware, so it's not like my opinion is going to cost you any money. All right, let's jump in the cockpit. Good old Shift C. Well, we'll try that again. What the what? And now back in the cockpit. There we go. All right. So it's still dark 30 here, so I could probably do without the flashlight. I'm going to change the time of day here to a skosh later. There we go. That's good. How about 7:14 in the morning? That sounds good. Okay. All right. So Mr. Sunshine's over there making its appearance. And we can go ahead and get this started. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the built-in cameras. Let me just run through those real quick so you can get a flavor for what you might want to customize. So shift 1, shift 2, camera 3, shift 3, shift 4, 5, 6, which will give you access to the tablet and also to the kill switch. 7, 8, 9, and 0. And we'll recenter our view here. That's shift spacebar. Okay, so good run through. It's always helpful to have those at your fingertips, and you can decide for yourself whether or not those are sufficient. And let's go ahead and get rolling here. All right, so fuel valve will come open. We will cut on the battery, alternator, a couple of primes here. Let's cut on the nav light. And mixture needs to be full rich. Throttle slightly cracked here. Ground for ground crew. Looks like they're stationary. So clear prop. And we'll go ahead and light the candle. We'll make sure we have our parking brake on. And we'll hold the starter. There we go. All right, we've got our comm radios on. That's good. Got our Garmin GTX 330 ES on. And we are at sea level. All right. So let's take care of the rest of our lighting situation here. So got our taxi lights on. We'll go ahead and put the landing lights on as well. Put on the pitot heat because it's quite cold here in the Carolinas. And our beacon. And we'll cut on the panel lights. And since it is cold, I'm going to cut the carb heat on here. And I think we're pretty much ready to go. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that I did point out is the tablet. My mouse on one of the click spots being a little fiddly. There we go. Okay, so try that again. All right, so lots of different settings here. Got a couple of different states that you can choose. Turn on the pilot, turn on the co-pilot, turn on realism, turn on state saving so it remembers where all of the things were when you left the aircraft. There is maintenance. But I think the magic of this is really in the work that they have done with the flight modeling. It's just a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to jump outside the plane. And we don't need 30. Flaps 30. We will use flaps 8, I think. Or 7. Which is what it is in this one. All right. There we go with Mr. Sun making an appearance. And we'll make an appearance in the sky. All right. I think we're good to go. RPM down here a little bit for taxi because we're not driving a race car. And we'll just ease our way out to the runway. And I just love this airfield. Some of you are probably thinking to yourselves, what's your first clue? Anyway, it's a great place to do a first look and a shakedown, and what a great bird to do it in. All right, so we're going to make our way over to the active here and get ourselves set up for runway 3. All right, I think we're good to go. Jump back inside the plane and our view centered here. I think we're good. And up and away we will be. Airspeed's alive. And we're up. And about 800 or 900 feet a minute climb out here. Get up over the power lines. And we'll stay away from the cell phone towers to our 11 o'clock. And now we'll back down our rate of climb to about 500 feet a minute. This is an absolute joy. And a fair bit of my real world flying experience is in the 152. So this is like a those worn comfortable shoes that you like to put on your feet. Like wearing a pair of Chucks that you've had for a long time. All right, so we're going to make our way to the south for a minute or 3. And we'll go ahead and continue our climb. And we'll get to about 3,000 feet, and then we can do a power on stall test here. All right, so we've got about 600 feet a minute vertical speed, maybe a little skosh north of that. Maintaining at about 60 on their airspeed. We'll continue our rate of climb here. And we'll turn slightly out into the Atlantic. All right, we are now north of 2,000 feet. And closing in on 2,500 feet. And we can turn slightly to the east here. Get just off the coast. There we go. We'll stare into Mr. Sunshine here for a minute. All right, we're closing in on 3,000 feet now. Our flaps up. Would have pulled those up earlier, but we were still in the white arc, so no harm, no foul there. All right, so I'm going to start applying some back pressure here. And our airspeed is dropping, and we'll work on keeping our wings level. Stall warning going off, and it is going to drop a wing. 34, 33, here you go, 32. And there's our stall recovery. All right, so that'll give you a flavor of the violence of the stall. Which in the relative scheme of things is not bad, but it is going to drop a wing, and I guess if you were hard-headed about it, you could get yourself into a nasty spin. All right, so we are almost down here to Kill Devil Hill, the dune, and we'll go ahead and start losing some altitude here. Take ourselves back over to runway 3. There's also another general aviation airfield here. It's Manio, which I have positioned now right off our nose. There's several runways there, so another cool place to fly in and out over the sim. All right, we're at 2,100 feet, so got a bit to go here. We'll just take our time. And we're down to 1,600. You can see the Wright Brothers monument just under the or just to the left of the support. And we'll start our turn to a base leg here. We'll get runway 3 off our 3 o'clock. All right. And we're about 900 feet in here, so we'll maintain this altitude as we cut across. And we're well within the arc for flap, so we can go ahead and get our aircraft configured here so that we're not futzing around with that on finals. And we will make our way over. Alright, I got a good picture of the airfield here now. Stare up over the nose here a little bit. And I'll also mention again, in case you haven't seen a flight into first flight, there are high power lines here near the end of the runway that you do have to negotiate on your approach. All right. All right, we've got our airspeed now down to about 53. This will put us in good shape. No issues with the power lines. And then as soon as we're clear, we'll drop a little sharper. There we go. And we will chop throttle once we are to our threshold. All right, there we go. And we are down. And we'll taxi all the way down to the end of the runway, end of the turnabout. And this is the WB152. Is it Simworthy? Absolutely. Run. Don't walk. Over to your browser and get that download. There are also some liveries that are available over on Flightsim.to, but the aircraft itself is no longer available there. So just mentioning that, full transparency. All right, we'll turn the aircraft here. Take a peek at the visitor center here at the Wright Brothers Memorial. Get our aircraft started. Stopped. Easy for me to say. All right, so what do I really think about this? I think it's probably the best 152 in the sim. This is very, very well done. So if you're looking for a enjoyable variant of the 152 that gets you much closer to the real world, then this one, my friends, is it. All right, so if you're still with us, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Love to have you as a subscriber on the channel. All right, so this is our cold and dark start and first look at the WB152. Hopefully this has been helpful. I hope you all are keeping well, and until next time, cheers, y'all.